I remember when Earl got called up to the Phoenix Suns, and we were wrapping up his things and moving out the apartment, and I walked in there and I saw that the Monopoly, the board and everything was in his apartment. So I figured, oh, I need to grab that for the guys, because they would, of course, and that was the official Monopoly apartment last season, what I heard. And I remember the guys were practicing that day, so I'm bringing it to practice, was going to drop it off with Brian Levy. And as I'm walking over, the guys are doing warm-ups with Sean on the court. They gave me the most serious death stare that I remember having. It was, what are you doing with our Monopoly? And I had to explain myself, but it was a pretty serious moment. And these guys really love their Monopoly, and it's a truly bonding experience for them. So I'm sorry, I won't touch it again.
It's been, just absolutely great. Was able to come in and start from the ground floor and kind of learn a little bit about everything in the D-League, and to the point where now I'm ready to be a general manager of my own team, so I couldn't have done it without my experience in Bakersfield.
We had one player that had a dog, and whenever he'd go on the road, he expected somebody to babysit the dog. He wouldn't put the dog in the kennel, because that would cost him 30 or 40 bucks a day. So he'd look around for somebody to babysit the dog. One year he had Wes, he was working here, and him and his wife babysat the dog for a while. They got tired. I think they passed it on to Stan and Bonnie, and the dog got sick. I think they had to take it to the vet. So now we don't want players with dogs.
Another great memory that I have with the Bakersfield Jam is a few seasons ago, Dick Enberg was our special guest speaker for our tip-off event. And I got to know him a little bit that day, set up a couple interviews with him. But what was extra special was the following day, after our tip-off event. I went with him back home to San Diego to drop him off. And during that time, on the airplane that I was with him, we shared great stories. He gave me great advice. He's just a really great, genuine person to speak to. And that flight was about 32 minutes long, so those 32 minutes went like this, but it was just a special moment for myself, and to speak to someone and that's so respected, well respected around sports, and just overall getting to know him a little better was really, really a highlight of me being here with the Jam, and how he expressed himself and how he gave me really great advice was something that I definitely heard very well, and I took it to deep with me, so it was really great.
First time a player was ever called up, and the first one was Trey Johnson, who was very near and dear to my heart. And that was really, really tough. And then, of course, because you're so attached and they're family, they're like your kids. And that just started, the first time was the hardest. And then from then, there's been so many players called up. But, I get the memory of David. Anytime David comes in and shuts my door, it was like, okay, who's getting called up?
Who'd have thunk it? 10 years ago, we met in Crystal Palace for the big announcement, and David Stern, the NBA commissioner at the time, came up on the big screen, and it was a very exciting time for all of us that knew we were going to be a part of it to know, wow, this is going to be a really big deal. Players playing in Bakersfield the next night can be playing in the NBA. So the genesis of this whole deal was how big it was going to be in the bigger picture. But over the last 10 years, it's really kind of become the local part of it that's really blossomed, if that makes any sense. It's the people here that have made this the experience. So 10 years later, I'm so proud to be a part of this great organization with David, with Stan, Teresa, Natalia, yourself, everybody that has made this such a special place to be. Our fans come in here in the winter and early spring and know that they're going to have a good time, and it takes a while to get there, and so it's so apropos that this 10-year anniversary is going to be celebrated so significantly.
And our dearest Jam partners, so near and dear to my heart. I truly love working with every single one of you. And my fondest memories of Jam partners truly happen in this building right here. If you've ever noticed, right here is actually the place where I like to spend most of the time during the game, if I'm not visiting with every one of you. And, because one, I get really into the game, and I want to be able to yell or walk down the hallway if I'm upset about a call. But but you know, truly to be able to see each one of you and how much you're having fun with your families, your friends, your clients, or you know, any guests that you invite to our games, and I love to be able to just stand back and see our whole building come alive, and the energy that you know, the Dignity Health Event Center has day in and day out. It's just, I find so much joy. It brings joy to my job. It makes it so easy. It's because of all of you Jam partners. Thank you.
So another great, no, I don't want to start with so. Okay, go. Hold on, no, sorry.
That's the end of the story.
The people, again, it's the same boring answer, I guess, the people.
That's weird. Okay. Stop it.
Don't make me laugh now.
I'm not doing anything. I'm recording. I'm doing my job.
Okay, you're right, you're doing your job.